You're ready? Okay, you guys are ready to go.
Recording in progress.
I call to order this meeting of the Public Safety Committee for November 18th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims. Here.
Oh, it's the wrong thing. 19.
Alderman Gould.
Here.
Alderwoman Harder.
Here.
And Alderman Pluska.
Here, I misspoke. It's the 19th today. Yeah, sorry about that. Guess we'd go running out of here. It's not even the right day. Okay, well, I get the right agenda up. There we go. Number 2 on our agenda is the approval of that agenda. Has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda, and would they make any changes, redactions? Seeing none, hearing none, the agenda will stand as submitted. The third item on our agenda are citizen comments. If anybody in the audience here or online has reason to comment to this committee on anything involving public safety for the city of Brentwood, you'll be given up to 3 minutes. Please identify yourself with name and address.
I'm not showing any interest online.
Thank you. I'll close citizen comments and move to number 4, which is the report of the committee chair and the report of the committee and the chair. As chairman, I do not have a report. Alderwoman Sims?
No report.
Thank you. Alderman Gould?
Yes, the only thing that I wanted to just bring up is last night, there was a discussion at the Communications Committee after the committee by a citizen who expressed some interest in having the intersection at Strassner that is near the inline rink, potentially a lighted crosswalk sign there like we have close to the YMCA. So it was brought up as an idea that intersection, especially as it gets darker in the evening, isn't really well lit. So when pedestrians are walking across it, and we know that it's a bit skewed intersection, so it's maybe sight lines are challenged. So it's something that maybe we consider or look into.
Maybe I'm so, okay. By the hockey rink?
Yeah.
Isn't the one that's at the Y already right there? Just to
It's,
the- just
yeah,
to
but
the
it's,
east?
but
West?
they're suggesting another one, a crosswalk sign that's lit up a little bit, just to the east of that as well. So just something to consider.
Okay. Actually, we can probably take it up tonight with reports from. Okay, thank you. Any other report from Alderman? Okay.
Nope.
Alderman Harder.
No report.
Thank you very much. There is no city administrator report, I don't believe. I think Bola is joining us online, right? Great. Let's see, let's go with our department reports. Let's start with the police department.
So I wanted to use this opportunity during our crime report to talk about something that actually made the news this morning. It was a quick blurb on Fox 2 Now. There was an arrest at the Brentwood Home Depot yesterday. That was actually about a 40-day investigation, so I'm kind of quickly highlight how hard our detectives worked on that case. About the end of September, Home Depot Loss Prevention reached out to Detective Wilcox. They had a repeat shoplifter stealing tools, and we had reached about the $10,000 and $20,000 mark. So we're in a public meeting, not to divulge too much about investigative tactics, but Detective Wilcox used pretty much all the resources he had through technology and old-fashioned surveillance that we developed a suspect. And that culminated yesterday into being prepared that he was going to be at that Home Depot and having enough officers there. He was taken into custody after a short foot pursuit. He has been charged. He is in St. Louis County with Missouri's new law that went into effect this year. It's the organized retail crime. It's it's an elevated felony for shoplifting once you move past $10,000 because he had been doing this at so many Home Depot in the area. That case is still evolving, so there'll be more with that, and I think we'll update you again with additional info and suspects at the next Public Safety Committee. I wanted to note on Black Friday, we will begin our annual retail holiday detail where we kind of supplement patrols with additional officers on duty in our retail areas. And I want to take a moment to highlight, as you guys know, we moved Corporal Hopler over the traffic enforcement in parks. And kind of over the last year with the amount of complaints we were getting, we kind of revamped our enforcement on traffic. So I looked at the numbers today. So year right now compared to 2024, we're at a 50% increase in traffic citations and a 40% increase in traffic warnings. The next item that was on our report, as I'll probably be talking under the old business, is the updated mini bike ordinance. So, you guys have any questions?
Questions? Thank you very much. I appreciate, oh, I'm sorry.
Talking about the mini bikes, right?
Right. I'll come back up.
When you come back up, I'll have a question then.
Yeah,
I can
I'm
ask it.
going to try to explain it the best I can, but
Thank you.
Good evening. I have a brief department update. Most of my items are under new business tonight. So we have completed our annual wellness exams through SSM Executive Health. Extremely happy to report we have all personnel are fit to perform their duties for the city of Brentwood for both training and emergency response. Just to give a brief background of these exams, it does include a mental wellness visit. Also includes multiple cancer screenings in addition to blood tests and stress tests. And so we are very fortunate to have that each year. Fire engine update, the truck is under construction. I do not have photos yet. They're supposed to send them on Fridays. And so hopefully this Friday is our first photo batch, and we'll be sure to share that in the report. Along with the fire engine, we have placed the order for all of our loose equipment, minus a few very small tools that we'll be able to pick up locally. So that project for this fiscal year is near complete. And now the equipment is arriving pretty much daily at this point. So thank you for that support. That truck will be outfitted as soon as it arrives. Final piece of the update is Medicare. So since the government shutdown has been concluded, EMSMC was holding on to all of our Medicare claims. They did get notification at the end of October, before the month end, to go ahead and start processing them, but those claims that were processed did not include the 2% urban upcharge fee. So all of those claims will be refiled to get the 2% upcharge. I have not seen the November deposit for October collections yet, but January through October, we are on target to meet revenues for ambulance billing. So I don't anticipate long-term any deficit there. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works?
Just a few highlights from different projects. On Strassner Drive, that decorative light was installed. That's the one of the 5 that's in the berm, so it's working. I've checked it a couple times. Manchester Road, the electrician's been out. He's ordered his materials that he needs, including that replacement street light that's over by the self-storage building. And as soon as he notifies us, it could be later this week, or I doubt next week since it's a short week. But the goal was to do the wiring and the cabinet and fix that, and that should take care of Manchester. McKnight, I still don't have a date from TAPCO as to when they're going to start. I know that they have to come from Wisconsin, so it'll be a little bit of a coordinative effort. I would assume it'd probably be that first part of December. Last thing to mention here, solar streetlights. We were asked to re-examine Mary Kay Court and Douglas Court. If you recall, I looked at our old notes from 2018, and I know that Douglas did not favor the light whatsoever, and Mary Kay was split, so we rejected both of those. But we can do a survey. I can work with the communications manager, have like a QR code or something, and figure out if they're interested in doing those. Those are both dead-end streets, cul-de-sacs. Mary Kay, there's 13 homes, Douglas is like 22. So if there's a simple majority, we could consider that and bring that back at the next meeting.
I have a couple of quick questions. So regarding McKnight Road, do you have to work with the city of Ladue?
We do. I already notified them, and they said as soon as, TAPCO's ready to do their work, just go ahead and do it.
Okay. And then with regard to the solar lights, the holdup was always objections by the residents, not, I mean, it met all the criteria. It was dark enough,
Right.
okay.
For that crosswalk, we bought 2 signs that were over at Rosalie and Swim Club. They're sitting in the shop. It's just the skinny rectangular ones. It says yield to pedestrians, and it's got the embedded lights around the perimeter. It's like, I looked on Google Earth, there's 2 posts that already have advanced warnings. You could swap those out with the illuminated and put the solar panel if you want to try those.
Anything that runs contrary to MUTC by putting the two of them in relative close proximity to one another?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think you want something just to alert people of that, not necessarily, one by the Y is a push button, and it has the Vismark where it lights up the bars. That's way more expensive and complicated. We could just put the simple ones up that are sitting there.
That are already in stock.
Yep, yeah, I already got them. I don't have to order anything.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I mean, I think that's a good solution. I mean, that is a weird turn there as.
It is, I saw it's at
Strassner,
a slant.
and everything's at a slant.
Yeah.
So I think anything that we can make that more visible as especially
Yeah.
with motorists that are coming from the east going west on Strassner
Right.
that then
And there's
intersect
no
that.
stop sign
There's
there
no stop
either.
sign there.
Yeah.
Intersect it after they're already in the intersection, and so I think, do you need any
Guidance?
guidance on that, or is that?
No, I can dig them out of the boxes and then we can charge them up in the shop because there's like a short little cord to redo the solar panel, build up the battery, and we don't have to call in locates because it's literally mounting
Already
it
there.
to the U channel that's there.
Sure. Great, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thanks.
We move on to the consent agenda. The only item on that agenda is the minutes from our October 22nd meeting. If everybody had a chance to look at those, does anybody have any suggestions for additions or redactions?
A motion
Hearing
to
none, can I get a
approve?
motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman Plufka.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We have one item under old business, and it involves that electrical bike ordinance changes. Joe, can you tell us just a little bit give us a little background, and then, I don't know that anybody had the benefit of a redlined, I know it's extensive, changes.
Yeah, I think I see what was happening. It was happening to me, which is you have to open it in Word on your desktop to see all of Jim's, because I was doing the same thing too, because there's only like 3 words in red. So I was
Yeah.
like, what's
Can I make
happening?
a comment? And it drives me nuts when people upload things on in MS Word because it doesn't open on our platform. Like, so if
Right.
you could save that as a PDF and look
Yeah.
and upload that, but when you if you upload things in Word, in PowerPoint, and not PDF, we can't read it basically, or I can't. So
So as you guys know, especially last summer, we started getting an uptick in the complaints about these electric bikes, mini bikes. And so when I started looking at the ordinance we had, basically we hadn't broken down all the new stuff that had come onto the market. Our ordinance right now mostly addresses gas-powered motorcycles. And then it does talk about the electric bicycles, but those are the pedal ones, like if you walked into the Trek store and you wanted the electric assisted bike. So what we asked Jim to do was take a look at updating the ordinance, and what he's done is to, we've updated a lot of the classifications and broken down different things, whether it's the electric bicycle, the electric personal assistive mobility device. I mean, it goes in here quite a bit, but of note is a category was created for motorized alternative vehicles, and that would cover the mini motorcycles that are electric powered that can be throttled from what we're seeing juveniles riding around on. So what he's proposing is it would be unlawful for anyone without a valid driver's license to operate one of these motorized alternative vehicles on any road, street, or highway within the city. They would be allowed to be on the city sidewalks and multi-use trails. It also would make it unlawful for a parent to allow a child under the age of 17 to violate this ordinance, or the parent could be issued a summons for allowing the juvenile to operate one of these mini bikes on a city street.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think we genuinely, I didn't think we allowed motorized anything on our sidewalks and trails, because I remember that being an issue with the golf cart
Right.
ordinance. Yeah, so,
So
did I
this-
hear you correctly? I mean, so why would we permit them? Why, it would strike me that we would have the same approach with these.
Right, and I
motorized
believe
vehicles.
we have wording in here that the city is allowed to tweak that as well. I believe the way he drafted it was to leave it to where the kids could use these mini bikes on sidewalks and trails.
But it could be altered,
And it can be altered to then also
They
take it
can
away
be younger
from
than
the trails.
17. Like,
Do what?
they can be younger than 17 on the sidewalks, is what you're saying.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I think sorry, go ahead.
How would we know? I mean, I think that's an enforcement issue. I mean,
Sure. So my opinion is I guess jumping ahead, if it passed in its form, I think the name of the game here would be education and kind of some common sense. When we would receive these complaints, I've seen some pictures that the child is obviously like 12 years old and zipping down the street. I think that would be the crux of the enforcement that we're trying to accomplish and trying to, because right now, if that happens, we could go to the parents and basically there's nothing lawfully we could do about it other than saying like, hey, be more careful. But this would then at least give us the opportunity to say, hey, your 12-year-old child's not allowed to be on a city street driving these things. They have to be on a sidewalk.
Can I ask a question? When I went through this, I didn't see anything about a helmet.
There is helmet
There is?
wording in here, yes.
I missed it, so I'm sorry.
so I'm looking at the section that we're talking about, and that would be under, I guess, 090 subsection D. Is that right?
Which one? Let me see.
Saying that they can be operated on paved sidewalks within the city.
Right.
But,
is there a level of magnitude that we
so
could maybe?
that's what I think he's getting, that's what I think he's
Like-
doing here.
I mean, I get it if there's a 12-year-old and the thing goes 10 miles an hour.
Right.
But if this thing can go 30 miles an hour down the sidewalk, I think that's.
I think this is what, and I'm speculating on his give and take here is, okay, these things are out in the market. Do we ban them completely in our city, or do we give them the sidewalk and the trails?
Right. And when you're saying trails, it just says sidewalks, actually, because I think we do have an ordinance that prohibits the use of,
Jack?
yeah.
And is there a distinction to be made? I guess all the sidewalks are ours, even if they line a county or
Like
state
McKnight or-
road.
Okay, I do have the electric bicycle may be ridden on bicycle or multi-use paths where bicycles are permitted, but those are our traditional pedal class
Right.
1, 2, and 3 electric bikes. Let me just double check on the motorized alternative.
Yeah, so he includes the MTDs, but he also says the non-motorized alternative vehicles may be operated on sidewalks. It excludes the motorized alternative vehicle, which is what they came to define those not scooters, those motorbikes that are electric powered, right?
Right.
Okay. So it would still exclude the little,
I tend to want those off our trails. I mean.
and they're not mentioned as being as allowed to be on the trails.
Okay, I may have just misread that one on the.
It just has, and in section F, it says, on public right-of-way, granted, except as otherwise provided in this chapter, otherwise provided in this chapter, we say you can't be on the trail system in our parks.
The big bucks.
Right.
So I'm not.
Right. Right. We can't have ambiguity here. But it's a good point. I mean, so. Would it be okay if we, Ms. Bola, can I have a conversation with you? Maybe not. Oh, there you go. Hey, so would it be appropriate if we came up with just a list of questions for Jim? And it was just 2 or 3 of them and said, hey, we're concerned that these changes are allowing for certain electric vehicles to be on our sidewalks. We'd prefer not to let that happen. We do not want them on our trails, that kind of thing. Does anything in this section, what's been changed, does it allow for that? You know what I mean? That kind of thing? Yes. Okay.
Those are valid questions.
Okay. That can be something we can ask them.
Yeah, my
Okay.
line of delineation would be speed of the,
Right.
of the machine.
Right, right. Whereas an electric bike that has pedals.
Right, like the
not be a
kind I
bike.
would use to go up a steep hill,
Right.
like that's.
Right.
But the electric bikes aren't the concern that we're having. The biggest concern are the somewhat small, and you've got small human
mighty.
beings,
Right.
and they actually go pretty fast, right? They go as fast as most of the cars on the streets, and they're not very visible, and they're whipping in and out of parked cars, and then the biggest concern that I have, whether they're on the sidewalk or the street, the bigger concerns that I've had from citizens is that intersections. They're not obeying
Oh, they're
the stop
sliding right through
signs,
it.
they're not, and if you've got cars coming through that intersection and they're looking at, to the left or the right, and one of them
And they're looking
comes
for
out.
cars.
They're looking for cars, the line of sight is a problem. So I don't know how we fix that, or even enforce that. And I don't disagree with Alderwoman Sims. I tend to, I have hesitation about allowing them on sidewalks. Well, one, we don't have too many sidewalks. Some of our neighborhoods don't even have sidewalks. Two, those are really narrow, those are quite a bit more narrow than even our trail system. And so if you've got pedestrians that are trying to walk on the sidewalks, like I don't even think you're supposed to ride a bicycle on a sidewalk, right? You're technically
I believe
supposed to.
The wording is they're supposed to give the right of way to the pedestrian if they use the sidewalk.
Right, but if a
But-
12-year-old is unattended by a
Is not,
parent
right.
and they're riding around, they're not gonna be following these. We can litigate this or legislate this as much as we can, but in the end, it's a cultural education that needs to happen. And unfortunately, I hope it's not due to a tragic accident that then people start to realize how dangerous this is. So, I mean, I think we do need to update the ordinance to put language in for all of these different types of vehicles that are on the market now.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, again, I don't know how we really address this. I think giving you all something to go back to the parents and say, look, you're in violation of this, I think that's a good thing.
Well, and so that's part of this too, under section 140. Parental responsibility, it shall be unlawful for any parent or guardian to knowingly permit or allow a child under the age of 17 to operate any vehicle in violation of this chapter.
Can you make the parents maybe take a safety class with the child?
I think
mean,
therein lies the biggest dilemma, as much to Alderman Gould's, is, a juvenile doesn't have a driver's
Right.
license and they're not in the mindset of safe driving,
No, they're-
of checking
playing,
and looking
yeah.
behind them and turning, and that's the crux of the issue.
I mean, are these vehicles, can they be insured? I mean, are they insured? I mean, I'm just,
No, I believe it's
they're
under
toys.
50, under 50 cc, there's no requirement to have them insured.
They're just toys. But they're really fast toys now.
yeah, they're fast.
All the more reason to limit them.
And even the one wheels and I've witnessed
Hopping the wheelies and stuff like that.
Well, no, I mean, there was adults going across the intersection at Hanley and Manchester one time on a one-wheel, and they had to right away, but they almost got hit, and it was pretty scary. Unfortunately, it's just, as these new things come on, I think all of us, motorists and everything, need to start to be more aware, and that's bigger than what the city of Brentwood can do with their ordinances. I mean, that's a bigger education.
Okay. Yeah, I interrupted you in the middle of, or we interrupted you in the middle of presenting. Did you want to?
No, I think that's really the crux of it, was defining and then taking steps to how we as a city want to address it through our ordinances.
And I mean, I was, you know, I was impressed with how I thought, I was trying to think of different things that hadn't been addressed or had been addressed, and I was impressed with all the different things. Everything from the use of hand signals or, you know, mechanical signals, operating on the shoulder adjacent to a roadway. You know, I didn't understand some of the definitions. I didn't understand one of the definitions. Alternative vehicle, I don't know that I understand MTD. That means in that context, it's in that alternative vehicle definition.
Yeah, full disclosure,
bicycle.
I've read this like 4 times and I'm still.
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's
so
so
it
many,
just says
yeah.
electric MTD.
Micro mobility transportation device.
Okay. Okay.
There it is, yeah. So
And then there's an
it's
MAV, which is a
small,
motorized
lightweight,
alternative
electric
vehicle.
powered transportation device designed for short distance travel, electric scooters,
One wheels.
electric
yeah.
skateboards, yeah,
Okay.
hoverboards.
Okay. Oh, I see. It's defined just farther down in the thing. I didn't. Okay. I'll put these questions, ask Jim to comment. And, okay. And I thought we would, you know, ask questions tonight, sit with this for a month, and then recommend it up to the full board for consideration. What do you think? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just, the only other comment, I mean, I think banning them all together is probably not realistic.
Yeah.
Because then we're just gonna have, they're gonna be there, you know, so I just wanted to, I know you mentioned that, I don't know that that's a path we wanna,
Well,
Go down.
that's not what's being proposed.
no, it's not what's being proposed, but you did say that is an option, and I don't know that we,
Yeah, because if we're taking the street away, then, you know, the products are out there, are we giving them the sidewalk? And so
and I think that's the challenge, right? If you take the street and the sidewalk away, well, then then
Right.
you're banning them,
they'd
right?
have to
So
go
you've
to
gotta allow
private
them
property.
somewhere.
Right.
So that's, I think, I don't know, that's the challenge.
Know whether the state and the county roads ban these, or have they?
I imagine they do.
That was the issue we confronted with golf carts, is that
Right.
they weren't allowed, and that is a poor choice of words. I know it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, it's-
I had to hear about it, but that they just weren't allowed, like,
Yeah.
and I wonder if that's, you know, that would be,
There's an
Brentwood,
analogy there. Yeah, we could,
Yeah.
yeah. I can ask Jim that
Yeah, I'd
too.
almost have to ask Jim that, because I
Well.
don't know if state law is caught up with the products either.
Okay. Because that affects us with regard to what? Litzinger, McKnight, Hanley,
Brentwood.
Brentwood. Okay. I'll ask that. Manchester, yeah. Okay. There's another thing on here about, regarding park rules. Was that part of what we were talking about tonight, or did Jim just copy that? Might have just copied this to
We
me.
should double check to make sure that there's no conflict with current park rules and how these vehicles could possibly be used on the trails. That would be a question for
Okay.
Jim.
Right, I've got that one. Yeah. Yep, I've got that one. I think,
It looked like he added, on the version I have, he added the park rules from existing and then in red added Looks like
alternative.
next to L with
Yeah.
skateboarding, yeah, the alternative vehicles, that was all added.
Right. And I think that was just a matter of,
I think it's
Figure it out.
also potentially in the whereas for the draft ordinance, after the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth whereas, it says, in order to preserve the safety of patrons using the city's parks. I think that's where it's confusing too, because it's not necessarily, the concern isn't necessarily in the parks, although I know that we have to be clear on whether or not we're allowing them in parks, or trails or anything like that. But this is more about the city's streets, right? So
Yes.
that whereas probably needs to be updated to say city's streets.
I can add that, I'll add that to them. Anything else from the? Okay, all right, let's maybe not a motion to approve tonight, maybe put it off until next month. Okay, and our meeting next month is moved up as well, and I've forgotten the date of it, but. December 17th?
That's correct.
Okay. So we'll take this up December 17th. Thanks very much, Joe. Okay. Move on to new business. We have a number of items with regard to our fire department and agreements.
We have a few.
Yep.
The first agreement is regarding our participation in the GEMT reimbursement program. We have done so since 2019. Due to the audits from 22, 23, and 24 taking so much time, there was a little bit of delay of bringing this forward this year, but we are, again, prepared to submit all documents for GEMT reimbursement. Would run from July 1 of 24 to June 30 of 25. With one addition this year is beginning January 1, the state of Missouri also includes managed Medicare programs, or I'm sorry, Medicaid programs. So that is additional patients and transports that we would be able to recoup. So we are recommending that we participate in this program again.
So, as I understand it, so the recommendation is continued participation in the GEMT program, and what this board is being asked to do is to make a motion to present to the Board of Aldermen that resolution which would recommend, which would continue participation. Can I get a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman Plufka.
Oh, yes. Thank you. The memorandum regarding fire department compliance.
Yes, so this is very lengthy, very in-depth. Lieutenant Herman and I, we completed our renewal with Medicare in 2023. And in doing so, we learned that as a provider under Medicare, we are required to have a compliance plan that became effective with the Affordable Care Act. And so previously, we did not have a formalized compliance plan. Upon learning that in the renewal process, Lieutenant Herman began training, which was about a year-long process. And at the completion of that training, he did become a certified compliance officer. So he does have that credential, and that also gave him access to the template to the compliance plan. And so building that compliance plan and then reviewing it with Mr. Hetledge and his team, who also performs review on compliance, we have this completed document. So the ongoing cost for this document and to the city is simply for training purposes, training our employees, training on compliance, and making sure we continue to have that compliance officer within the organization. So the heavy lift has been done. This will require annual review and perhaps updates. And yeah, we're bringing this forward again to adopt this plan.
And as I understand it, and I'm not sure that I do, I mean, I read that this is compliance with the regulatory requirements of the ACA.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And this is a 56-page document, or 50, whatever.
It's slightly
50, yeah,
longer, yes.
56-page document that basically explains how and under what circumstances we are compliant with the requirements of that act.
Correct. From
From the perspective of the medical care that you deliver on an
Absolutely.
emergency basis.
Absolutely. And around billing aspects, around protecting the patient's privacy and their information, to investigation, how do we receive complaints and then document such, all the way through the city of Brentwood's disciplinary process. That is all encompassing.
So I just had a question about this after reviewing what I thought I knew this to be, and what you've said is consistent with what I thought. Did you have to alter any of the way in which you conduct yourself, either in the purpose of billing or in training or in delivery of services?
No,
This
sir.
was just simply you going through saying, yes, we already do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There
kinda what I
are
thought.
additional
That's what I thought.
trainings. There are some additional trainings, but they're
nothing you were
available
doing
to
that was
us.
contrary to the requirements or compliance. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought as much. I just want to make sure.
thank you.
That being said, are there questions from the committee? We are being asked to motion this up or down to the Board of Aldermen for full presentation and adoption. Can I get a motion to present this to the Board of Aldermen?
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Yes. And thank you. This was a lot of work.
Thank you. Lieutenant Herman did the lift. Yes, I did.
Yeah, it
some
was
work.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, and so AccuCare?
Yes,
right.
AccuCare. And before I jump into that, I do apologize. I am still working with Mr. Hetledge on the resolution for the compliance and this AccuCare agreement that will be attached to the board packet. So I just want to be clear on that.
Okay, so the wording of it or so tonight, do you want us to,
I need to move
Okay.
these forward.
okay, so, all right. So you're going to ask us without actually seeing what that resolution,
It's just to adopt these plans as presented tonight.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what the resolution language I'm waiting on.
All right, I interrupted you. Please go ahead.
Absolutely. So let me give a brief background. I was contacted by the Brentwood School District requesting our assistance for medical services at athletic events. Their contractor in August, which is when athletic events start, was notified them they could not fulfill their agreement. And this impacted like more than 30 schools in the St. Louis area. They reached out to universities, the physical therapy schools and programs, and people are tapped out. The resources were not available. For a variety of reasons, we too could not fulfill their request. However, what I did was put them in contact with this event service that can fulfill that request. Under state statute, if there's another EMS agency, which is AccuCare, providing service within our jurisdiction, we have to have an agreement in place. So they are notifying us that they are delivering or providing service in our jurisdiction. We have worked together. They are providing on-site service at these athletic events. This is what they do. They clearly understand it. If a patient needs to be transported, they call us. So this agreement, there's no charge to us. It's just a formality that we have to have in place that we acknowledge, yes, they are providing this service in the city of Brentwood.
That's essentially the resolution you're asking us to forward up to the board.
That is correct.
Okay.
I think it's pretty important. I'll recommend approval of the memorandum of understanding with AccuCare Event Medical and forward it onto the board for support of the Brentwood School District's athletic program.
There you go. Do you have a second to that? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? I have one point of clarification. Depending on what you does it matter what you call it and whether it mirrors what we have motioned up to the board? Maybe that's a question for Bola.
It does not.
Okay, thank you, Bola. With that in mind, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Sims.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman Plucker.
Yes, thank you, and thank you, Chief. We now have another opportunity for citizen comments. If there's anybody online or here who wishes to address this committee with regard to any issue of public safety, you'll be recognized for up to 3 minutes. Please identify yourself by name and address.
There's no one online.
There's no one online. You haven't hurt my feelings too bad. All right, I will close citizen comments, and seeing no other items on the agenda, I declare this